Hello, boys and girls. My name is Miss Alicia Douglas, and today we will be looking at the Amerindians. We will first begin with a short story on who the Amerindians are and where they came from. Okay, so now let's begin. I will read the story, and you can follow along by reading on the screen. Amerindians belonging to the Mongoloid group are believed to have crossed from Asia by the way of the Bering Strait, an ice bridge joining Asia with the Americans, leaving during the Fourth Ice Age following migrating prey. Fishermen as well as hunters brought their skill of making weapons of stone and bone at some point learned to cultivate the land as well. A talented people, Amerindians are known even today for their craftsmanship. They can make canoes, baskets, pottery, hammocks, weapons, jewelries, utensils, clothing, and buildings out of the materials that are around them. Materials include beads, stones, shells, wood, bamboo, calabash, leaves, and TBC straw. Far from the museum pieces described by Daly in A Short History of the Guyanese People, 1975, Amerindians are making their mark in every sphere of life today.
Now, the Amerindians acted not only as allies and soldiers to the Dutch, but also their servants, being employed as boatsmen, pilots, guides, and field laborers. Many were also employed in established fisheries along the coast from the Essequibo to the Orinoco, including the mouth of the Waini, Barima, and the Amacuro rivers. Currently, 9 Amerindian tribes are accounted for in Guyana. Those tribes are the Waraos, Locano, also known as the Arawaks, Wapishanas, Caribs, Makushi, Arikunas, Waiwais, Akuwayo, and the Patomonas. Tribes such as the Mayonkong, Myopitians, Drois, Tarumas, Aripas, and Pianogatos, all thriving populations in the 1800s, are now extinct.
History has it that the Amerindians came from the continent of Asia thousands of years ago. They came in search of food. So, what the Amerindians were doing, they were following cattle, herds of cattle. That means that a lot of cows that group themselves together and travel together, the Amerindians were traveling with them as a means of survival, right? They crossed an ice bridge called the Bering Strait that connected Asia to North America. You know, Asia is a very big continent, and you know where North America is. That's US and Canada. Good. And Asia is a big continent where we have China, Malaysia, Thailand, North and South Korea. Good. So those were just continents, and the ice passage connected those continents together to form a bridge, and that's what the Amerindians crossed. So they wandered around and settled in different places before they reached here in Guyana. We're going to take a look of that on the map. Open the Social Studies for Our Children, Book 4. Turn to page 1. Alright, so this is the map of the journey of the Amerindians. So we said that the Amerindians came from the continent of Asia. Here is the continent of Asia, and they moved from Asia to North America. North America is over here, and what connected Asia and North America was an ice bridge. So on the map we have point A and point B. If you were to fold this map into cylinder shape, you would get how round the earth is, and you would see that point A and point B would connect, and that would show you how the bridge was formed. Good. So they moved from Asia to North America. I remember we said that they settled in different places. So they settled along the Central Caribbean, which is the Central America, straight into South America. Here we passing Venezuela until they reach Guyana, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to color the continent in which the Amerindians came from into a hot color. So for me, I would use color red to color all here. All here.
As we move on now to the Amerindian way of life. Some example of the Amerindian way of life would be hunting, their weapons, their housing accommodation, their clothing, and a few more to mention. Underneath hunting, we know that the Amerindian hunt for deer, they hunt for rabbits, they hunt for turkey, they hunt for duck. And for some other tribes within the Amerindian, they would hunt for fishes. And whilst hunting, they would use these weapons, and some example of the weapon would be arrow and bow. They would have spear, they would have net, and these weapon is what helped them in their everyday activity. Now we move on to clothing. For the clothing, the Amerindians would wear breechcloth. They would wear tops made from coconut shell. They would wear straw skirt. They would wear traditional headpieces. They would wear piece for the hands, piece for the legs. They would also wear traditional beads. They'll have headpiece that they also wear. In terms of the clothing, in terms of the houses, they would live in benabs and hut, and they would use hammock to sleep in. Thank you.
So we heard the story, we read the notes, and we saw the pictures. Now we will write a composition on the Amerindians, and we're going to do it in first person. So the topic is my journey to Guyana as an Amerindian, right? Good. So in your composition, I need you to put these things. One, who am I? This who am I is explaining who you are as an Amerindian, the first group of people to come to Guyana, which tribe. We were given the amount of tribes that came, right? There are 9 tribes. So which tribe do you belong to? Good. So that's on the who am I. Good. Where I came from, you will state where the Amerindians came from. Good. Why did I come? How did I come? We will also put my way of life, how I got my food, the clothes that I wore, the house that I lived in. Good. You're going to put all of this into your composition, and you submit it to me so that I can mark it, and we will read the best composition in the class. So, who am I? 1. Where I came from, why I came, my way of life. Good.
We have a game to play, which is the dancing chairs, where 5 volunteers will come in front to play the game. I will ask you questions about the lesson that we learned today, where I will play a music, and then when I stop the music, the person who is standing up and the person who didn't find a chair, you're playing dancing chairs, right? So chairs will be in front. You will dance around the chair, and when I stop the music, the person who didn't find a chair will answer the question that I asked. So let's go. Yes, the first question is, who are the Amerindians? Amerindians are the Guyana's first people or indigenous people, and as such, they enjoy certain privileges and rights which come with being the first people of Guyana. Go again. Second question goes to you. Where did they come from? Amerindians came from the continent of Asia.